Hey guys, it's Jeff. This week's Honorable Mention Monday gets awarded to the Last Apprentice series by Joseph Delaney. So this series of books is it's a young adult teen fiction kind of spooky mystery thriller type of series that follows Thomas Ward, who is a seventh son of a seventh son, which means that just by nature, he is more in tune with being able to see and interact with witches, ghouls, ghosts, anything like supernatural or what they consider a part of the dark. He's more in tune with those and can sense them before other people can, and has just a natural ability to try to fight and ward off anything that might try to harm citizens of his county. Since he's a seventh son of a seventh son, he's one of seven siblings, and the other six siblings already have, it's like in the olden days where they already have all the jobs that normally would be taken by older brothers, like smiths, or everybody has their own trade to go into, but there's a little bit of lacking of his father and mother are like, well, what are we going to do with Tom? The county needs more spooks, and they call John Gregory, who is a famous spook that travels around the county and around the world, to help him train him to become a spook, because the world needs more spooks to get rid of all this darkness, and they are kind of out of ideas what they're gonna do with their son, because I think he's like 13 or something in this book. I read it a long time ago, but I think he's like 13, and they're kind of rapidly approaching like crisis mode. Like, what are we going to do? So they call him over, and then John Gregory takes him under his wing, and he's going to become one of his apprentices, because John Gregory's previous apprentices have either died or already graduated on to become other spooks. So his last apprentice, I don't remember if that means John's last apprentice or just a last apprentice in general. Like, there's literally nobody else that can do this, because seventh son of a seventh son, that's kind of hard to come by, right? And I don't know if anybody else who isn't a seventh son of a seventh son can become a spook. I don't remember that. I don't know if that was clarified in the books, but it's really cool. It's a really cool story. It's absolutely one of my favorite book series of all time. And you know what? To be honest, this series creeps me out more than say a Stephen King novel, because even though it's really simply written, for young adults, the way that Joseph Delaney is able to make you imagine what these creatures might be, and the way that they subtly mess with people in everyday lives. It's just really creepy. And the creatures that he comes up with are really unique, the way that he has to capture them and the way that they just exist in nature. It's really interesting. The only downside is that I would say that there are too many books in the series. I actually didn't finish the entire thing, because I got to book maybe I want to say 8 or 9, and I stopped reading them because this series seems to suffer from one of those we don't know when it's going to end type of thing. So another one comes out, and then another one comes out, and another one comes out. And it's all right, at some point you're kind of diluting the story and making it, and not if you have a story that just keeps going on forever, it's you're going to get bored of it. It'd be much better if there was all right, the story is going to have 8 books, and I'm going to make the story fit into 8 books. And I feel even though I haven't read the entire series, there's still 5 more that I didn't read. I'm probably not going to read because I just don't want to. It almost feels all right, if you've got 13 books in a series, you're probably all right, I'm just going to try to wrap this up. It's not I very much doubt when he first started, he's yes, I've got 13 books that I'm going to try to encompass this entire story in, where it's you probably don't need 13. You could probably do 7 or 8 max. You know what I mean? Even 8 is a lot of books for a series. And there were times I remember, because this was well over a decade ago that I read all these. I remember there were times when it felt like the bad guy of the book. It felt like, all right, he's just throwing out more bad guys, more new villains, and technically that's what a spook would do. It's like, he comes into a new county. Here's the bad guy here, and here's what's causing his trouble. So technically, this is the type of series that could go on forever, because there's always going to be darkness, and there's always going to be these types of like ghouls and witches that need to be taken care of. But so within the context of the world that it's presented in, sure, it could do that. But like for a reader, I kind of wish that it would have taken less books to tell the entire story, because I still don't know how it ends. I could probably look it up. But if I had been reviewing this, I probably would have given it a 4 out of 5, because it's not average by any means, but it isn't perfect for all of the reasons that I stated. It's a really good book. I definitely recommend you at least read the first 2. I remember the second book being my favorite, Curse of the Bane. That one was really cool. There's a thing called the Bane, where it's like an invisible force that lives in like the catacombs of like this town that Tom Ward and John Gregory end up visiting. And if you get too close to it, it ends up like crushing you, or like grabs onto you, and you can't pull away from it. And it's really interesting, because since it's invisible, they're not exactly sure how to tackle it. So it's cool trying to figure out. It's cool taking that ride along with them, how they're trying to figure out how to tackle all these monsters. So definitely give The Last Apprentice, at least the first 2 books, maybe 3 books, your time, because I don't think you'll regret it. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next Honorable Mention Monday video. Thanks so much.